In the ancient world, God called upon Jonah, a prophet of Israel, with a daunting task: to go to Nineveh, a great but wicked city, and warn its inhabitants of their impending doom unless they repented for their sins. Jonah, however, overwhelmed by the enormity of the task and fearing the wickedness of Nineveh, chose to flee from God's command. He boarded a ship bound for Tarshish, hoping to escape his divine duty. As the ship sailed, a ferocious storm arose, terrifying the seasoned sailors and threatening to tear the vessel apart. Recognizing that the storm was no ordinary act of nature, but a divine retribution for his flight, Jonah confessed to the sailors that he was the cause of their peril. With heavy hearts, they threw Jonah overboard at his own behest to appease the wrath of God. As Jonah sank into the depths, the storm abated, leaving the sailors in awe of the power of Jonah's God, prompting them to offer sacrifices and vows to him. In the ocean's dark embrace, Jonah found himself swallowed by a gargantuan fish, sent by God as both a punishment and a means of salvation. Within the belly of this Leviathan, Jonah spent 3 days and nights in deep reflection and prayer. He repented for his disobedience and acknowledged God's mercy and sovereignty. Moved by Jonah's genuine contrition, God commanded the fish to expel Jonah onto dry land, granting him a second chance to fulfill his prophetic mission. Renewed in spirit but still harboring doubts, Jonah traveled to Nineveh and proclaimed God's warning: 40 more days and Nineveh will be overthrown. To Jonah's astonishment, the people of Nineveh, from the greatest to the least, believed God's message. They donned sackcloth, fasted, and earnestly repented for their wickedness, hoping for divine mercy. Even the king of Nineveh rose from his throne, covered himself in sackcloth, and sat in ashes, decreeing that every man and beast should fast and turn from their evil ways, in hopes of turning away God's fierce anger. Seeing their genuine repentance, God relented and did not bring upon them the destruction he had threatened. This act of divine mercy, however, initially kindled anger in Jonah, who struggled to understand God's willingness to forgive such a notoriously sinful city. Yet, through a series of lessons involving a plant, a worm, and a scorching east wind, God taught Jonah about compassion, illustrating that his mercy is boundless and extends to all his creations, not just Israel,